I want to entertain that audience, and that's the goal. So it's just it's an interest. It's like people go, why? It is a passion and an interest in life, a pursuit of excellence, a pursuit of knowledge, a pursuit of, and not just excellence for excellence. It's like I'm defining it for the audience. I'm doing this for the audience. And I don't know. I get real passionate about it.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I get real passionate.
it's obsession at this point, I think, for you to entertain people.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's a giving mindset.
It is a passion. It's literally like, as a kid, I used to write stories and characters just to make my family laugh. And I'd create characters. And I was jumping off buildings when I was 4 years old. I was that kid who climbed the tallest trees. I think I was like 2.5 years old, where I climbed out of a window onto a roof, to look at the stars. And the neighbors would call my mom, and she'd be like,
where is he? He's on the roof?
I think there's a child on a roof at 2 a.m. in the morning to look at the stars. You know what I mean? And I just had that natural sense of adventure that I guess carries over into my passion for people in life and cinema.
Well, we're appreciative of those things combining, because when you just decide, I'm gonna jump a motorcycle off a cliff here, and I'm gonna do it 20 times to see how it goes. I'm gonna climb the Burj Khalifa with no thing, and just sit on top of that thing. I'm gonna fly on the wing of a plane that is 5 to 15 feet above the ground over a creek, and it's like we appreciate the fact that you do that. I get nervous for you. I get scared for you. Now we know you're a very busy person.
I get nervous too.
Do you? Okay. So you get feelings or no? Do you have fear?
Oh yeah. It's I just don't mind it. Look, here's also the thing, that when you're looking at that plane flying 5 feet over, we're doing things. I'm not just hanging off that plane. I'm also the amount of time that it took to develop understanding the aircraft and how it flies, understanding the airplane when it gets into a place where it's no longer going to fly, me training the pilot to do it. We're developing knowledge and we're developing technology. So also when I'm there on the wheel, I'm worried about these downdrafts that are coming in. I'm perceiving the bumps. I know what that pilot is going through, because also when I'm flying in between the two wings and I'm 0G in there, I also have to know my body position, because I'm creating drag and reducing the airflow over that wing. And I have to know what that pilot is doing. What is he going through? Are we in the middle of a stall? When that airplane's going and doing a loop and we're right on the top, I have to know where I need to be in position-wise so that this airplane doesn't start falling out of the sky and we get into a spin.
Yeah.
So he has to, and I'm training him, and I have to know where the camera is, and I have to also know where the helicopter is and I'm acting as I'm moving through it. So there's kind of different spatial orientations and perceptions that I have to have, so that as the airplane and that airflow is going over, and we're traveling anywhere from, 95 to 145 miles an hour hitting G's. So
of course.
I don't know if you've ever taken your hand and stuck it out of a window at that speed.
Oh, yeah, dolphin.
So how do I train my body? How do I train my mind? How do I train myself spiritually? And McHugh and I are working on the story. And what does that lens say? So there's layers upon layers. It's like when you see a quarterback come up to the line and they're quick perceiving everything. Where they have to know where everyone's moving. You have to have that spatial orientation of the guys coming around you. That's what you have to have. And I have to know, how close is that airplane to the side of the mountain? Where's the downdraft? What's happening? It's split-second precision. And if I make a mistake and I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I have to be able to perceive, if I do that, I'm going to put the pilot and the airplane into a bad position. So, and if I'm thrown into a bad position, I have to know as a team, where we need to go. So all of these things are happening with all the stunts we're doing, and that kind of training. And it's not just years that it took to develop these sequences. It's decades of knowledge that I've accumulated, even on how to hire the people around me to do this. And so that's what McHugh and I, even I'm talking on the wing to him, we have hand signals at times where he's in the helicopter and he's opening the helicopter and he's talking to me, but we have hand signals so that we can move very quickly. And on that wing, you have to understand, it is the toughest weight work you've ever had. So, when you have a brutal weight workout and you literally cannot move.
Yes.
you can't even get up. That's what this being on the wing for a couple of minutes is, from a hard aerobatic workout, traveling the forces, and I have to just rest on the wing to the times where I'm almost like in a different state of exhaustion, and I have to rest to let my body, my muscles refuel so that I can get just from the wing to the cockpit, because also we're limited in fuel. So, and the guy, my pilots cannot land with me on the wing. And the way I start is I go from the cockpit out onto the wing, then we start our maneuvers. And I'm also hand signals with the pilot. So all of these things and the amount of training and drilling and safety procedures and step by step moving up to these procedures, because also when the airplane goes inverted,
Of course.
the engine stops. It does stop because it's not fuel injected. So while I'm hanging, and you'll see stuff of me hanging upside down in that airplane, and how do I hold it, and how do we do it, and understanding the maneuver and how that plane moves around, and putting myself into a position because I'm being flung, and also understanding what happens so that I'm putting myself in a position on the wing or the fuselage. You'll see me take hard hits, very, very hard hits on that wing, and it's just like, oh, you can't take many of those,
Yeah.
It's like going across the middle. A receiver going across the middle. It's like, I'm going to catch the ball,
Tom, you said,
and I know it is going to hurt.
Yeah, you said, hold on. He said, it's like a quarterback having to check an audible. Yeah, there's a chance you get blindsided. Yeah, there's a chance you get sacked, I guess. In your world, there's a chance you're falling off of a plane into Earth. So, yeah, I guess it is like a quarterback. Yeah, I guess so.
Physics.
Brother.
Physics.
Listening to you talk is both inspiring and also like with an understanding that you're one of one, brother. There's never going to be another.
Yeah.
Never going to be another. Now, speaking of never going to be another, Boston Connor got a chance to watch Final Reckoning this morning.
Yeah, after that promo, TC, I wore my GOAT shirt today because you are the GOAT, and it's very nice to be able to show that right after you said all that. But, yes, I was able to see Final Reckoning this morning at 7:30 a.m. Thank you to your team for setting it up. I did, in fact, get popcorn for you, and just so you know, coffee and popcorn are a fantastic combination. By the end of the movie.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
7:30 a.m. show.
I got to try that.
Yeah, yes, you do.
I got to try that. I got to say, the other day when I was in New York, I woke up and I did eat some more popcorn.
Hell yeah.
I didn't try it with coffee, but chocolate popcorn's good,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try coffee now. Thank you.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
Boom.
It's evolving. I can't wait to see what a coffee popcorn scene's going to look like.
Yeah, it's energetic.
I want to know what that's like.
Yeah, it's a lot of juice. You'll eat even more popcorn probably because of it.